Boy, I didn't want to bring this up, but you mentioned his name and you said what you said about matches and match ratings. So I got to reference it. Over the weekend, there was a big debate and discussion online because I guess someone was defending Kurt Angle, if you will, saying, how in the world did Kurt Angle never get a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer and John Moxley did? Now, I'm not here to throw shade at John Moxley at all. He's been the MVP in a lot of ways for AEW almost since the beginning. But Kurt Angle, my goodness, one of the best all time wrestlers. I mean, goodness gracious. If he's on your Mount Rushmore, who could be critical of that? That being said, when someone tried to take Dave to task for that, he quote tweeted it and said something along the lines of, go study cage match and get back to me. And I said to myself, that's fucking stupid. When Kurt Angle was doing what Kurt Angle was doing, and I'm talking about peak Kurt Angle, not the TNA stuff. I know he was there a lot longer. I know we had arguably as good or better matches, but I'm saying when he was in front of the much bigger audience of WWE, cage match was not nearly as prevalent as it is now, and it's only gained a little more steam in recent years because of Tony Khan.
Because we're making fun of it.
Based on fan voting. I respect what cage match does. Like, what a great little community of diehard hardcore wrestling fans. But at the same time, fans are rushing to the computer after a show now to rate a match and rate a show. They weren't doing that in the Kurt Angle days. So what in the world are we saying? Like, hey, go study where fans vote and get back with me. What? Fans weren't able to vote back then like they are now.
And that's not even the point. The point is that Dave lives in a world all of his own, and he assumes that his view of looking at wrestling is the best way. I mean, look, Tony Khan is essentially booking for Dave Meltzer. Now, they may not, they may even debate. They may even argue over the phone. They may not even get along. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter to me.
They get along.
That's kind of what I thought, but I don't want to imply it because I don't know it for sure. But whatever. Let's assume they're at least sociable. Dave Meltzer has a view of what works in wrestling, and I think Tony Khan subscribes to it 100%. Unfortunately, it's fucking wrong. And now it's being, Dave for years has always known a better way, has always had a different opinion. And now Tony Khan is out there manifesting Dave Meltzer's approach to professional wrestling, and he's shitting the bed in the process in terms of television. It's not getting him anywhere. He's dying. House show tickets. Do they even do house shows anymore? I don't even think they do.
No,
they can't. They're not even in the live event business, which is a weird thing to say for a professional wrestling company. They're not even in the live event side of the business. And their television product is weak at best. Their attendance for their television productions, Dynamite, their number one show, they're lucky to get 3,000 people. They have to paper the house to get there, according to recent reports. So there's no metric that you can look at to suggest that Dave Meltzer's view of the wrestling business, because he, as he says, he studies it and, he's such a student of the business, but everything that Dave Meltzer suggests is the right way to do things is manifesting in AEW, and it's failing miserably. So in a way, AEW's failure to succeed beyond their current level is in large part because of the Dave Meltzer philosophy of professional wrestling, which Tony Khan clearly subscribes to. It's not working. And the idea that Dave Meltzer would refer to cage match rankings as some kind of barometer that has any credibility in terms of what's working and what's not working on television and what's quality and not quality on television, I think tells you not you, Conrad, but tells one everything one needs to know about Dave Meltzer's experience, his perspective, or his basic fundamental understanding of professional wrestling as a business. Dave Meltzer has no clue. He's never been in the business. Now, I know there's a lot of sports writers that have never played professional sports and they comment on sports writing. Great. But we're talking about business. The guy, Dave Meltzer, who says he studies the business. No, you don't, Dave. You're a fucking goof. You've never studied the business. You're a dirt sheet writer. You've probably never been in a business outside of writing dirt sheets. But Dave has always tried to influence the product as best he could from the sidelines. Well, now he's got a great opportunity because Tony Khan is a student of Dave Meltzer, and look what you're getting. And it's becoming more and more obvious. And I think that reference to check out the cage match rankings is only one example of what a moron Dave Meltzer is.
Okie doke. Let's move on. Marty B says, now that we have a direction for the main event of night 1 at WrestleMania, how would you finish night 1, Eric? And then the obvious question, how would you finish night 2? Would you throw any surprises in there like Seth turning on Cody?
Again, it falls into the fantasy booking category, and I'm intentionally not thinking too much about what I would do because honestly, I want to enjoy what they are doing. I want to be surprised. I don't even want to be able to predict too much. I want to sit back and just watch it and see what's going to happen as a fan, not as a former producer. And in order for me to turn my producer brain off, I just have to quit thinking about it and just enjoy it. In terms of Seth turning on Cody, I wouldn't do that because that's 5 pounds. It's like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. I just wouldn't do it then. Maybe after, maybe something happens in the match that allows us to create a Cody Seth story going forward. Like that's the opening act of Act 1 in the new Seth Cody story. That can happen, right, at WrestleMania. But I wouldn't want to see a full-on turn at WrestleMania because it's too much too soon and not necessary in that moment, in my opinion.
Can't wait to see what they do there. Let's talk about championship belts. Wrestling Fans in Sight says, hello, Eric. Hope all is well. I know WWE already has enough championships as is. With all the factions they've been putting together, do you think they possibly could have a 6-man tag team division? Before you answer, Eric, let me just say, please, God, no. We've seen a 6-man in AEW. We've seen a 6-man in Ring of Honor. I think if anything, it's just hurt their tag team division. Like I'd rather have a badass tag team division than trying to have a tag team division and the 6-man tag, much less 2 sets of 6-mans. What say you?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I could go off on a tangent about 6-man tags and no. Suffice. Oh, fuck me. I just do all that shit. It's just, see, I run out of gimmick ideas. Let's do a gimmick of a gimmick. Yeah, and we'll call it trios because I don't know, sounds cool. No, fuck no, stop it.